talk about the worldwide paid protest pipeline. Who's funding it and why? Because no matter the cause, anti-ICE, pro-Palestine, pro-Iran, you'll see different signs, but it's the same script. And it's the same networks, the same organizers, the same graphics, the same font. Fox News Digital has been digging into this, following the money, and a lot of it leads back to one man. We've told you about him in the past. Tech tycoon, American-born Neville Roy Singham, who lives in Shanghai. Now, he allegedly poured millions into these networks to push an overtly pro-Chinese Communist Party interest. So how does it work? And here's what Fox News Digital's Azramani has uncovered. After analyzing hundreds of transactions from 2017 to 2025, it starts at the top with Neville Roy Singham. He has allegedly funneled around $278 million through shell companies that starts with a core six. It's companies like Code Pink, the People's Forum. Again, we've talked about this with you in the past. You should get to know these because they're the emblems, the logos that you will see on all the signs at these protests. But from those core six, they then distribute it out in like a third concentric circle to 52 secondary organizations all across different regions. And then again, globally, it's fractured up again into 11 downstream groups. Now you're talking about nonprofits all across the world that result in the end result, 2,000 activist groups are funded by this one man, Neville Roy Singham. And what's it for? What is the message that he's pushing? What information is he laundering through these groups? Well, let's remind you of what these groups say. There's Code Pink. On the surface, it's a feminist grassroots organization, co-founded, by the way, by Singham's wife, Jody Evans. And they do things like the Day of Action after the Soleimani strike. They did a Free Palestine march. And then there's the People's Forum. And again, their mission, as they say, is to build unity across the line of division at home and abroad. Sounds benign, right? But what do? Well, they focus on anti-imperialism, anti-capitalism. They did the Times Square rally the day after October 7th. They protest Maduro's capture. This is the feel-good, benign message that is actually in play when it comes to the People's Forum. And again, the idea, the information laundered, points back to 2017. You see, what happened in 2017 is Singham and the Code Pink co-founder, Evans, got married. And they got married in Jamaica. So a wedding started this, but not exactly the kind of wedding that you would expect, not the kind of gift, not the place you would expect the start of a revolution. But according to this report, the generations, our generations, Maoist, People's War, are the ones that caught the bouquet because that's where this idea blossomed. See, in 1934, Mao Zedong of Chinese Communist Party set forth his doctrine. His doctrine was decentralized networks, ideological indoctrination, civil institutions. What happened? Well, basically a color revolution, a cultural revolution, a long-term struggle that's changed China and for much of the globe. What's happening today with Singham? Same exact playbook. Disparate activist groups, tax-exempt nonprofits, and the thing is, it's all, again, a long-term cultural revolution, a battle for your mind. This is real, happening, cognitive warfare.